Alright, so let's dive deeper into animating with Kling. So I've built my own strategy over all this time that I've been creating videos in Kling. So I definitely know the strategy for creating good angles, good animations, but once again, every animation, every video that you will make is very unique. So of course, it's only up to you to choose and to find the best angle, the best animation for it. I will show you what works for me, how to use it, what I personally use, but always remember that every video is unique, every purpose, every motion that is needed will be different, of course. We will right now look how I created models, some aesthetic reels, what presets I use, what prompts I use. So just be inspired from my prompts. You can use my prompts, you can use everything, but just remember that only you can find the way to do your videos in the right way. Just make sure that you understand the final result that you want to achieve. So if we're talking about models videos, as will be our first example, let me show you the prompts that I use. So let me show you. So here is the prompt that I use for Kling. So we are using the picture that we previously upscaled in Magnific, and then we place this picture into start frame and choosing the 2.1 or 2.1 master. It depends on you because 2.1 master is very expensive, so I cannot recommend it. But let's start with 2.1 as it's the version that I use for example, for my recent video, I used this version. So let's see the prompt and I will explain to you about the presets that I use. So gorgeous model walking on the fashion runway, walking standing, 2 times walking, get it worked, okay. Sorry. Runway sending kisses to audience, wings are flipping, her hair is slightly fluttering in the wind. I'm telling you my secret here to give it more volume, to give it more realistic, airy touch, because everything that has real physics in it, when the hair is, fluttering in the wind, it gives you this realistic vision because realistic look, because many people tell me that my videos look very realistic, and it's because of the movement of hair movement, of because the air is in my videos. You can literally see some physics, but I literally have it in my prompt here. So her hair is slightly fluttering in the wind. If you use the 1.6 version, you may remove the word slightly. I'll explain why. So when the 2.1, 2.0, 2.1 master versions were announced, it had some glitches with motion. Motion was absolutely different from what I got used to at the moment. So when I put the word just fluttering in the wind, it understood it literally, like this, if you know what I mean. Like it was so unnatural. It was like a very strong wind was blowing their hair. So I solved this problem just by adding this word slightly. Sometimes I remove it right now, but still, as a habit, I still put it here just to not ruin the credits, just to not ruin the result, for example. So her dress and wings sparkle and shine cinematic. I really love this word cinematic. As you may noticed, I already put it in majority in my prompts very often, and I also put it here on Kling as well. So we also add the dress and wings, or just dress, dress and earrings, shine and sparkle, and put the word cinematic. So the prompt is here, and it's my base prompt. I will show you on other examples that are literally just plain with the word, but the structure is here. It's this. So the thing is, the motion, the cinematic feel is here in presets, and you can see it here. The camera follows the subject movement. You can see and find the presets here in inspiration and presets. So you can tap here for the first time you edit, and then you can change it here. So first time that you edit, you go here to set inspiration and preset, sorry. So you can see that there are so many ways for your camera to move on Kling, and it's very good because you can control the camera, so you can control how cinematic the prompts will be. So my first reels, let's say 2-3 months ago, contained only these presets because there weren't another one. These are the recent ones about The camera pans right and tilts down, orbits and pushes it. It's all a very recent ones. So before that, I usually try this. The camera rotates around the subject, and my favorite one, the camera follows the subject moving. So we need to understand when a person is walking on the runway, then if we tell the camera to rotate, it will show her back, it will show her, let's say, her side, and if we don't want it, if we want just a straight look of her, how she moves, and the camera is just like following how she walks, then we use this one. Let me show you in the example here how I used it. Let me show you. Okay. Yeah, here I think. Nope. Yeah, here. So I wanted this model. Let's see the prompt again. So how I changed this prompt to get this result. Let me show you. Oh, something. Okay. So if you want to see the reel itself, it's on my page. If you're curious how the end result looks like. Oh yeah, okay. So for this motion, see how camera is just basically following her. Like it's not orbiting around her. You cannot see her side, you cannot see her back, you cannot see anything. You just see her, and the camera is movement like a real camera on TV shows where they just, go as the person moves. So here is how I changed it, the prompt, walking forward in fashion runway, greeting audience with hands up into air above her head. Because when I firstly tried to do with her hands up, she did like this. So it's a weird movement in the fashion industry. So we always need to understand that we need to prompt very accurately what we want. Like we need hands to be above her. Like she would stand like this. So we also need to mention that it's very, very important. Second thing that we need to know is that when you actually want your camera to move around, like I did here, let me show you. The camera rotates around the subject. This is a very, very good camera angle to use, but you can't use it all the time. So my personal secret that I share with you is don't do absolutely boring stuff, means usual or overuse one or two presets. So if a person, for example, just walks and then you need to show the second scene, my advice would be to change the preset. So the first preset would be where she goes and camera follows her, like we saw in the person who raised her hand. And the second one will be orbiting around the subject. It's like this, for example, see, you can see her side, you can see her back. You can basically see more than just this is the first image, like the original one, and see how throughout the process you can see her back, you can see her, like, yeah, basically your side, and she will obviously go till the end of the video. So that's the point of making things interesting for a viewer, to not do boring stuff. Even if you do absolutely beautiful people, models, then still you need to understand that it should be very interesting for a person to watch. So I always combine this, and I never use I use it only when it makes sense, in the sense of what I want to say. If I just want to emphasize some runway moving, then you can actually do some videos. Let me refresh. You can actually do some videos for preset that is same throughout the whole video, but my recommendation would be just to combine them. Firstly, it should be this one, other is another one. It will give you this depth and more interesting look. So let me show you my other, let me show you how I animated another thing. For example, let's look at non-people reel, because I think with people, you understood that it's just playing with presets. Basically, there is nothing much to add, because for every video, it will be you can see, for example, on this subject that I did for coffee shop and their drink. So basically, once again, camera rotates around the subject. So what's the point of making a video, for example, in advertising if you cannot see the product well? So for advertising, I think the best one is just if it's just the product, so it doesn't move, just the product. Of course, the best angle is the camera rotates around the subject. So it's a very, very, yeah, very, very aesthetic. It's a real coffee shop. It's their drink, smoothie, kiwi smoothie or something, but I just decided to play it with the bird. And it's very boring as a still picture. So to add more air, let's say, into this video, we do these presets. So basically presets are super important. It's like one of the most important thing in my whole Kling routine. I just change the presets and see which one I like more. So it's always only about the experimentation as usual, because we cannot control AI to the point that we can get the same result as 3D, for example, but we still need to understand some things to know how to control AI as much as possible. So here is another commission that I did for bad company who create beds, and they wanted a whole house first, like a reel with storytelling, house and entering. So of course, for the entering, once again, so the camera should move. We use one of my favorite, the camera follows the subject movement. Also here you can see the prompts, of course, goes without saying. So this was my final result for them. I edited this in the final video. So let me show you about, so we understood about the about architecture, people. Let me, if I find something with aesthetic quickly. So once again, the more you will use Kling, the more you will understand it. I'm just giving you my workflow that I've built throughout all this time that I have my page and been using AI. You can literally see my prompts and you can see the final result. That is the same prompts, like the same Kling videos. And this one, once again, was with models. This one has another preset. Camera booms up and pushes in. Also a very interesting one, because, for example, when you want to show some details on models, for example, and earrings, and just to focus on model, it's a very good one. So here again, here's the prompt. You can see the prompt. You can repeat after me because it works. You can see the results in my reels. And I personally love animating people so much that I basically just have enormous amount of videos with people, so it's very hard for me to find something with no people in it. But I wanted to show you how I animated my most viral reel. So see you in the next tutorial, where we're going to see how I animated my non-people reels in more depth.